I think Ilhan Omar should not only be kicked out of Congress, but she should be deported, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to start with the Feeding Our Future scandal and her indirect involvement. Feeding Our Future was a Minnesota nonprofit founded in 2016, shortly after Obama sent tens of thousands of Somalians to Minnesota. They claimed to be distributing thousands of school lunches to school children during the pandemic. There were 73 people that were indicted. They said that they were distributing thousands of meals to school children every day, but in reality, they just stole hundreds of millions of dollars in food assistance. So Miss Ilhan Omar was the primary sponsor of the Meals Act, which passed in March 2020. The Meals Act directly loosened rules for sponsors like Feeding Our Future to add sites rapidly without audits. Feeding Our Future grew from $307,000 in 2018 to $197 million in 2021. Next up, you have the Child Hunger Prevention Act and the Child Nutrition Response Act. Both sound great. The first enabled the Feeding Our Future scandal, as you can see. The second reduced state oversight, and even though they had already kind of caught on to Feeding Our Future sued them and said it was racism. And that made it to where the MDE could not halt the funding that Feeding Our Future was getting. Both of these guys and others involved in the fraud donated to Miss Ilhan Omar's campaign. The Safari restaurant is specifically important in this case because that's the restaurant that Miss Ilhan Omar went to out of all of these hundreds of food sites. That's the one that she went to. That's the one that she was advertising for. That's the one where she was bragging about the Meals Act that she personally passed. Play the clip.
They were going into Safari restaurant where they are packing meals for children and their families. They serve about 2,300 kids every single day. And today we're helping pack those meals for children. Because of the Meals Act that I introduced that got passed into the CARES Act, now school districts can have the support of businesses like Safari to be able to get meals into children and their families who are now distance learning, rely on getting their daily meals from the school.
Here's an awesome headline that's being completely ignored by the mainstream media. There's one connection to the government, and there's the connection to Ilhan Omar at the Safari restaurant, but that's not the only connection to her. Aside from Miss Ilhan Omar bragging about how she passed legislation that led to the funding of the Safari restaurant, I went and snooped through her X account. The second connection is this person right here, Anissa Hajamumin, I think. Guess what Anissa's also connected to? Pause to read this part so you can see the other players involved, specifically that guy. Anissa was hired by the SCRS, which is the Somali Community Resettlement Services. Now, that nonprofit somehow was able to secure a $2.3 million mansion for the Somali community. Sorry, $2.6 million. I mean, that's a weird coincidence, right? Out of hundreds of food sites, the one restaurant that she went to that she advertised for just happened to be the main one that committed the most fraud. So they scammed like $250 million, and you know what they put it towards? Muslim housing communities and a resort in Kenya. And most of it went overseas, and it was supposed to be feeding American children. This is a picture of her father, and this photo is really, really difficult to come across. Her father was a colonel in a communist regime. According to sources from Somaliland, they fled to Kenya and then went to the United States. The white disc with the red rim around it confirms that he was not only in the army, but he was of a high official ranking. In the military, your ribbons, the ones on his chest, signify what you did in the military. Now, these are blurry, but Grok was able to find that one of them is from the Ogaden War. On his collar, he had crossed swords and a red star. The swords possibly signify combat leadership, and the red star signified loyalty to the regime. Now, Ilhan Omar claims that he was an educator, but don't you think it's a weird coincidence that there are virtually no photos of him online? During the time that her father served, there was a massacre known as the Isaac Genocide. Alright, that's all I got right now. Let me know if you think that this is just a coincidence or if you think that she needs to be investigated. If you do, call your congresspeople and tell them that. I also want to say thank you to the people over in Somaliland that helped me find the only verified photo of her father in uniform. Mind you, those people care more about Ilhan Omar getting removed than you do. Do better and demand better.